Hello guys, today we are going to study chapter 1 chemistry. So this video has been delayed since the last video. I would like to ask sorry for that. If you hadn't seen the last video, I would recommend you to go ahead and see that one because that's related to this one, I guess. So these two videos are related together. Let's begin. So let's see. First, milk milk is left at room temperature during summers. So here in this chapter we are basically going to see on what is chemical reactions and equations. I will explain it to you later in the video. So first let's get for what happens when we keep milk out in the summer. It gets spoiled. So it gets spoiled. So whenever we keep milk outside, it of course gets spoiled. An iron tawa, pan or nail is left exposed to humid environment. So humid environment in this scene means water is more in the environment. Grapes are fermented, food is cooked, food gets digested in the body, we respire. So this is for us we don't need for now. I'll explain it later. In the following all situations, the nature and the identity of the initial substance have somewhat changed. So let's get to the identity. So before we understand any of these lines, let's understand what do they mean. First, let's understand few basic things. I hope you guys can see it. So first, let's understand what is chemical equation. So what is chemistry? If you hadn't seen the last video about analogies in chemistry, chemistry is the study of study of substance like all things you have around you. That's chemistry. And how it interacts with temperature, how it interacts with heat, water, and other substances. That's only study of chemistry. That is only what chemistry is. So chemical equations are basically something which describes reactions. Reaction is what you may be asking. Reaction is nothing but when a substance interacts or is kept near another substance, that when these two interact to form something is known as a reaction. But most of the things that we know do not do that. They are unreactive, they don't react much. So this is what the definition of chemistry. So now let's get into the chapter again. So the initial substance in all of these, what has been given here, what was the initial substance, had completely changed. So in a chemical reaction, whatever the initial substance, okay, what is chemical reaction? In which objects together come together to form a new product. So what had happened here? It had changed into something new, had formed a new substance. So what we can say from this? When a chemical reaction occurs, we know that a new substance is formed. So whenever a chemical change in a reaction change occurs, a reaction, chemical change is basically the change in the structure of the object. For example, let's take your burning paper. What had happened to the paper? It became black, right? Why did it become black? Because it has changed in its structure. So this is known as a chemical change. In a physical change, if you fold paper, the paper is still paper. It has not changed to anything else. Its color remains the same, everything remains the same. Even if you color the paper with crayons, the paper is just like paper only. It has paper like structure, it just has color on it. But when you burn paper, its structure changed and it became like ash. So this is a chemical change. So whenever a chemical change happens, a chemical reaction takes place. So in this, what they have given is a chemical reaction. So there is something called atomic number and elements. We don't need it for now. So what happens, there's a magnesium ribbon is a substance, okay. When you heat it in fire, it will start to, you know, twinkle, like it will start to create flames like a star and will form a residue. That's what it's given there. Let's forget it. And now hydrogen. So now next second experiment, potassium and lead nitrate. We don't need this experiment for now. We'll discuss it later in a total out explained video about, you know, experiments and activities. So this also is with hydrochloric acid. When you keep hydrochloric acid and zinc granules is a metal, okay. Zinc is a metal. So when you combine metal and HCl, what happens? HCl is hydrochloric acid. We will learn later. When you combine zinc and hydrochloric acid, they react. What happens? Reaction means chemical change. Chemical change means chemical reaction. So they react to give out hydrogen gas. Here it is what given. So from this, what conclusion we have come? From all this activity, what conclusion we have come? So whenever, how to determine how a chemical changes happen? For example, when you burn paper, it became black. How can we determine it? First, the paper colors, the state it changed, the paper state it changed. Basically, it became like powder. So yeah, the color of the paper changed. It became burnt and it became black. White paper became black. So yeah, evolution of gas. So when you burn paper, you see that you know, that dust particles like smoke, you see. Yeah, there's that change in temperature. If you touch that burnt paper, you can see it's a bit hot. So this is what help us determine what is a chemical change. So now a question to you guys. Determine on whether it's a physical change or a chemical change. Physical change, the substance doesn't change, okay. Like for example, when you fold paper, the paper is still paper, it did not change. This is a physical change. Its structure might have changed, but it's still paper. So now for example, burning of crackers is a chemical change or physical change? Let's think. Crackers, when you burn cracker, what happens? So what were the categories there? First, the state changed. You're burning, let's keep on dynamite. So what happened after burning? It just went whoosh. So what had happened? First, its state had changed, right? So second, let's get to the color. It might have been in a black color, but later after the explosion it is missing. So yeah, it is technically countable. It does not have the same state, and after bursting out, it became into smoke, and of course smoke was there. So evolution of gas. Evolution basically means gas is being formed. That's it. Smoke had been formed. So next, what was the next thing? Temperature. Yes, when you burned the cracker, so much temperature came out in the whoosh. So yes, it is a chemical change. I'll give you two more examples and it's homework. Go find it out and put your answer in the comment section to help others. Okay. uh, Heating metal pan. Heating metal pan or heater. Next, second one. Second one is passing electricity through water. Okay, these are two homeworks. Do it, do not do it, but still it will just help you. Just take it as your way to train yourself. So the only way a person can become smart is by continuous training. Train, don't give up. This is what is the thing. So this is a rapid revision series, so we're gonna go very fast. So as now, let's get into the chemical equation described in the book. Magnesium ribbon is a substance. I'll tell you what is magnesium, what is sodium, and all that later on in understanding base of chemistry video. So now let's finish this chapter today. When magnesium ribbon is burnt in oxygen, it gets converted to magnesium oxide. So when magnesium ribbon, you know what air has? What does air have? Uh, what does air have? Air has oxygen, nitrogen, and CO, carbon dioxide. Okay. So what happened when you bought a flame close to the thing? Magnesium ribbon. Magnesium ribbon started burning. So the oxygen there, right? It reacted. Reacted means it had, altered. Not altered. Like it's like reacted. We will get the principle of reacted in the next video. So it just reacted. Just forget it. What exactly is reacted, I will say in the next video. Reaction is just like forming a new substance. So oxygen and magnesium formed a new substance, which is magnesium oxide. They say it as MgO. I will explain this later in another video. So magnesium oxide is written like this in short form. So let's see. As they have given the reaction, first magnesium and oxygen, they both reacted to form magnesium oxide. So when two substances react, they are known as reactants. And after their reaction, what they form is known as the product, which is magnesium oxide in this example. So the substance that undergo the reaction, magnesium and oxide, are the reactants. The new substance is magnesium oxide formed due to the reaction as a product. So if I'm going really fast, please slow down the speed in the settings. Okay, if you don't can catch up with me, you can just slow down the speed in the settings. Go to settings, go to playback speed, and then click it and then put 0.5 or 0.75 to slow down the video. Okay, so the substances that undergo chemical change, let's get to the word equation. So word equation. Okay, I give you one task. Explain to me magnesium and oxygen reacting together to form magnesium oxide. How you will write it? So most likely you'll write like sentence: magnesium reacts with oxygen to form magnesium oxide. This is known as sentence equation. So this is way too long, right? It's long. Yes? Say yes. Just for a video this guy is doing, don't say. Say yes. Yes, told. Oh, right, let's ready. Yeah, okay, let's go. Next. To make this short, what can we do? We can write in a word form. What is word? Word is just one word. Let's write magnesium. Like it's given here, see. Magnesium plus oxygen, magnesium oxide. This is known as a word equation. So, or whatever on this side is there, right? You can see. You can see this side. Whatever is there is known as, keep your hand, which is like right for you, that's known as the right hand side after the arrow. First circle the arrow, and anything after this thing is the right hand side and this thing is the left hand side. So what this arrow indicates, so would you see magnesium plus oxygen gives magnesium oxide. So it's telling that magnesium reacts with oxygen to give, it forms. This arrow means that only. Okay, so now writing a chemical equation, there is any other shorter way for representing chemical equation. So now I might go really fast. I would recommend you guys to slow the video according to you on YouTube. So this chapter is based on 9th concepts. I should have taught you guys the elements, the element and all that. Okay. So writing chemical equation. Is there any other way of shorter representing? So this word equation is way too long, right? Magnesium plus this thing, blah, blah, blah. It's way too long. So can we make it even shorter? Yes, by using symbol. What? By using symbol of substance. So magnesium, right? We can write it as, magnesium is very too long. We can write it as a symbol, and that symbol is Mg. For magnesium, symbol is Mg, and oxygen symbol is O, only O. So we can write Mg plus O gives MgO. That's that simple. Okay. So it's actually O2 here. I will tell it later. You have to understand valency for that. So that's known as balancing equation. So there is a law called law of conservation of mass. Just forget the law. I will explain the law. That's it. Okay. Forget the name of the law. So law of conservation of mass says what? So law of conservation of mass says on if there is 1 kg of oxygen reacting with 1 kg of magnesium. So 1 kg of oxygen plus 1 kg of magnesium, how much it will come? 2 kgs. So law of conservation of mass says that energy cannot be, law of conservation of mass says that if you have 100 grams, you cannot make into 200 grams, just like that, or you cannot destroy the 100 grams. Okay. So if there is 1 kg of magnesium reacting with 1 kg of oxygen, the total is 2 kg. So the concentration of magnesium oxide will be 2 kg. You cannot create 1 kg of oxygen and 1 kg of magnesium cannot create 3 kgs. You cannot bring in 1 extra kg. You cannot like just like that create 1 extra kg. This is only what law of conservation of mass tells. You cannot create, can't create like that. So mass is fixed. So if a bottle has if a tank has 5 kg of mass, it will be 5 kg of mass. If you add mass, it will increase. If you decrease, if you cut or break it, the mass will decrease. But the 5 kg, if you leave the tank just like that, the mass will never change. This is only law of conservation of mass. Just mass won't change. That's it. Okay. So that's only they are using here. So if you say mg plus O2 is equal to mgo. So mg here nothing is down, right? So that means it's 1. If nothing is down, that means it's 1. Here also nothing is down, so 1. So now let's take. You're supposed to put like this, which is your left hand side, this side. So this is LHS, RHS. Mg, how many is there? 1. Here, this side alone we see. And oxygen, so look at this number is 2, so 2. So mg, yes, is 1 and here is 2. So this does not follow the law of conservation of mass because there is 2 oxygen and here only there is 1 oxygen. So oxygen is 2 oxygen is here, 1 oxygen here. So this is unbalanced. We gotta balance them. So what we should do? We should multiply 2 here to make it balanced. Okay. So let's write down new equation. We will put 2 here. So now what happens if we put 2 here, there is 1, right? This 2 will multiply mg also, oxygen also. That means in this side RHS there is 2 mg and 2 oxygen, but here there is only 1 mg and 2 oxygen. So oxygen there is no problem, but mg there is problem. So what we will do, we will put 2 here also. So I'll give you another equation. You can just solve it. N2 plus H2 gives NH3. Can you please solve this? Homework. Please pause the video and solve this. Let's go to next one. So basically this is what they have given in the entire thing. First you put it on the left side. So now let's try this out. Then I will give you another homework, right? Because first time. How much is this in the down number? First we put N. Here also we put N. LHS, RHS. So what is this? 2. N is equal to 2. Next is HR. Is equal to 2. N is equal to 1. H is equal to 3. Is N and N matched? No. We should multiply 2 here. Okay. We will leave this like that. And now this 2 are not matched. So I'll say you one trick. Let's multiply this number here and this number here. So what we will do, we will multiply 2 is here, right? We will multiply it here, and 3 is here, right? We will multiply it here. But now what happens is that if we multiply 2, let's put 2, that means nitrogen will become 2. Here there is nothing, right? Is there nothing? So what will happen? So nitrogen will become 2 and this will become 6. So now we have to multiply 3. So let's put 3 here. So the newly written equation is N2 plus H2 gives NH3. Here NH forward. So this is how it is balanced. So let's balance this. LHS, RHS. Na how much? Na how much, guys? I can't hear you. Say louder. Nothing there. So 1. Nothing this down means it's 1. So Na is 1. Here something is there. This is 2. And look at it. Here. Now down there's anything? No. So there is 1. Here also down nothing. So 1. So Na is equal to 1. Cl is equal to 1. So what we should do? We should make this 2. So we have to, here it's 2, here it's 1. These two are balanced, okay. But here it's 2, here it's 1. So what we should do? We should multiply 2. We should put 2 here. So now what happened? Na also became 2. So this became 2. So we will put 2 here. So what happens? Na we will put 2, here 2. So this also became 2. Okay guys, it's a bit confusing. This part alone you can slow down. So here there was nothing. So now let's give me one question. You guys can try out. So balance this equation. Put it. LHS, RHS. How much is Zn? Nothing is there. So 1. Find out. Here also 1 because nothing is there. So now find out. Yes guys, find out fast. So I'll just write the answer. Know what? You find out the answer. So I will just write the answer. You guys might get stressed out on where to find the answer. So here 2. You should put here 2 and here 2. That's the answer. So next question. This is a difficult question. Guys, slow down the video, guys. I'm going a bit fast. So next question. We'll put LHS, RHS. Okay. So what you might get confused with this. I understand your situation. Let me help you guys. Wait 1 second. So what happens when you put you guys might not understand. So let's I've done mistake. I've thought you way too fast. Ca plus O2 gives CaO. So let's put LHS together. LHS, RHS. How much is C atom? Nothing is there. So calcium here 1. Here also nothing is there. So 1. Down also nothing is there. So 1. Let's count how much Ca. 1. How much oxygen this side? This side how much oxygen? 2. How much Ca this side? 1. Oxygen? 1. So now oxygen is not balanced. So we will put 2 here. What happens when we put 2? This 2 will multiply with this and it will make Ca into, it will become, Ca will become 1 times the 1 times 2. So there are 2 Ca atoms now. So there is not 1 Ca atom, 2 Ca atom. Same thing goes here. 2 times 1 oxygen makes it into 2. So now there is only one Ca here. So we will put 2 to make this into 2Ca. So we understood it. Now let's get into Zn. Remember guys, this multiplies all this also. If there is nothing, it multiplies this and also multiplies this. It multiplies both. So if there is N2 here, it will also multiply this. It will make this into 4. 2 times 2, 4. It will make it into 4. Okay. It will multiply everything joined together. If plus sign is there, it cannot. But okay, get it? So let's do this homework. Zn, how much you see? Like that you check. Do homework, guys. So I have completed till here, I guess. Yeah. So H2O is water. Which form is it? It's in liquid form, right? Yeah. So we represent it with L. So we will write H2O L. And for the next part, I will put another video. So bye.